Christian communities, not taking actions to stop the massacre that is going on, not implementing emergency security measures to even save lives, but communicating about actions. Actions. Now, if you look at this is the entire crisis in one sentence. While Christians are missing, while Christians are disappearing, while Christians are murdered, while Christians are displaced, while Christians are terrorized, the Nigerian terrorist government priority is not stopping the violence of Mbano, but maintaining narrative. They want to maintain that narrative about the violence. Now, let's look at the mathematics part of it. If you have calculator, you can walk alongside with me, because I want to give you the numbers that expose this lobbying contract as a deformed PR, public relations exercise, while a genocide unfolds. Now let's first look at the DCIM contract signed in December, and we know the monthly fees of 755,000 every month. Now, if you look at the objective, which I have read before, assist the Nigerian government through Asta Legal in communicating its actions to protect Nigerian Christian communities and maintaining US support in countering West African jihadist groups and other destabilizing elements. If you notice, communicating its actions to protect, not protecting. Oh, I don't know. Can you differentiate between the two? Not protecting, that is active. He said to protect, so that, oh my goodness me. So it means that they are not taking urgent measures to save life. Because if they are taking urgent measures to save life, they would have said protecting. But they did not say protecting, they said to protect, communicate its actions to protect.
Keep sharing. Good morning. I cannot care.
Are you following what I'm saying?
30 minutes, but I will leave it.
If you look at now,
let's go.
The death toll during this contract period, you could see that Christians who have been killed and murdered and massacred since that contract started, this is like 42 days. And the estimated dead, let's use the calculation of Rally Moore that said, just estimate, we know there are more than that, 35 persons per day. And you multiply that by 41 days. If you have calculator, you can help. So approximately, or let's even say 41 days because of different time zone, approximately you will see that 1,435 Christians have been killed. December 29th, 14 Christians were killed in Adamawa State. December 31st, 9 Christians were murdered as they prepare for the new year in Bomb Village. Now, January 3rd, 50 were massacred in Niger State, where 3 villages were attacked. January 12, 4 Christians were shot dead in their sleep in Otobi Akpa village. January 18, 177 worshippers were kidnapped from 3 churches, which the government denied it never happened. And January 20, 25 schoolgirls abducted from school in Kebbi State. While this terrorist country, Nigeria, paid DCI $4.5 million. So approximately 1,435 Christians were killed. You see? So that's like $6,989 spent on lobbying per Christian death. Not protection, but narrative control. So while this DCI group was cashing out that 4.5 million upfront money that they paid them, approximately 3,000 Christians were being slaughtered. Are you following me, my people? So if you think about that, I mean, for every Christian murdered in Nigeria, the government spent over $7,000, not on protection, no, not on security, not even on justice, because there is no justice, but on telling Washington that everything is under control. So which Christians are they protecting? That is the question that haunts the entire contract. Which one are you protecting? Because the lobbying document claims the Nigerian government is taking actions to protect Nigerian Christian communities, not protecting. So I just want us now to examine what those actions have accomplished. The reason why Rally Moore had to come to Nigeria. So, like, let's say from 2009, 100,000 Christians have been murdered. More than 20,000 churches have been destroyed. More than 20 million people have been displaced. 600,000 Christians living in IDP camp in Benue State alone. We have a lot of statistics. We saw what happened during Christmas 2025 till New Year. I don't want to start repeating those statistics because we don't have time. So which Christian are they protecting? The ones being burnt alive in their churches, or the ones sleeping in IDP camp with no water, no toilet, no hygiene, watching 8 people die per week from disease and starvation? The priests that are being kidnapped and murdered, which one are they protecting? Is it the school children being abducted from Catholic school? Because what is happening now, they are targeting Christians and targeting mission schools. Or is it the families fleeing their ancestral homes, never to return? They are deciding that it is happening. Men stormed 3 churches during worship service in January 18. They blocked the church entrance and they forced 117 worshippers out of their pews at gunpoint. 11 of them managed to escape. And still added up to 177. Yes. And Christian Association of Nigeria, they came out and made this report. The chairman of KANU, Northern Region, he confirmed that the attackers came in numbers and blocked the entrance of the churches and forced the worshippers out into the bush. I have seen a video trending online that they have noticed that those people that were kidnapped are walking inside the bush. Who saw them inside the bush that they're walking inside the bush? Why didn't they rescue them? Why? Immediately this man came out and made this broadcast. Kaduna State Police Commissioner Mohammed Rabiu immediately held a press conference. Till now, there is no information about any attack or any kidnapping. It is false. Totally false. We do not have any evidence of such. Really? But someone was there to testify, Afiniki Moses, whose husband and 2 children were taken. She said, they kidnapped a large number of people in the community, and my husband happened to be among them. As you can see me now, I am not feeling fine. This is a statement from Afaniki Moses that the husband was kidnapped. And the local chief, Wali, also tells the same thing. He said, it is only politicians that are denying the kidnapping of our people. So this is why I said Christians are disappearing. Christians are missing in Nigeria, not just because armed bandits are taking them, no, but because when they disappear, the government denies it ever happened. This is why this is happening while Nigerians pay 9 million to tell Washington that Christians are being protected. Why are they lying? Congress, a Rally Moore, who doesn't mince word. His clarity is what makes the Nigerian government lobbying contract so absurd. The man came out and said, Nigeria is the most dangerous country in the world to be a Christian. Why is he saying this? Because he saw things for himself when he came to Nigeria. He said it is the most dangerous place in the world to profess your faith in our Lord Jesus Christ. Nigeria has become ground zero for Christian martyrdom. Nigeria has become the deadliest place in the world to be a Christian, and the United States cannot stand idly by. More Christians are killed every year in Nigeria than the rest of the world combined. Because this man came to Nigeria. He saw the IDP camps. He met with the survivors. He witnessed 600,000 people displaced. Displaced Christians in just one state. If he comes to Biafra land, he will see, we did not even add the one from Biafra land or Taraba or other states. He saw them living in conditions he described as unsafe and terrifying. These are the words that he used. And, you know, he wasn't speaking to robots or AI. He spoke with families who had everything taken from them. Not by natural disaster, no. Not by a random crime, no, but by systematic targeted violence. And he made his conclusion These camps aren't safe. People are terrified. They are being hunted, not protected. Did you hear the word he used? Hunted like animals, not protected. That is the reality on the ground. So our foreign listener listening to us right now should know that Nigeria is the deadliest place for Christians to live. That is why the 9 million lobbying contract is so absurd. You can't lobby away the truth. When a US congressman has seen it with his own eyes and is reporting it directly to President Trump this month, he's going to make official report. He told the truth that Nigerian government desperately want to hide. But just as concerning a report that, corrupt cells of the Nigerian government may be complicit and even directly involved in some of these attacks. Not just incompetent, not just overwhelmed, complicit, and that's what they are. They are complicit. Later, we are going to see how they are complicit because one of them was Tuga. I'm going to play that interview again. It is very short. You could hear what he said. And the other one that I played before that said that Northerners will fight and resist any attack on their terrorists. Gumi has come out and said so many things that Nigerian terrorist government can never drive away Fulani from Nigeria. So the government are complicit. The government cabinet members, all of them in the government, they are all complicit in what is happening. This man continued because he saw things for himself. He refused to be misdirected. He went straight to Benue State, met the people he wanted to meet, said, Yala, take me to the camp. I want to see my brothers and sisters. He continued and said, while Nigerians of all faith face terrorism, Christians are far and away the most targeted for persecution and violence. Additionally, this violence stems almost exclusively from Muslim groups and is explicitly anti-Christians. I'm quoting him directly. So that is the assessment that triggered the 9 million lobbying contract because, when a US congressman starts using the word like this, complicit, systematic, and explicitly anti-Christian, and then when he has the ears of President Trump, the Nigerian government knows that it has a narrative problem. They know. But here is what they seem not to understand. This terrorist Nigerian government, you cannot lobby your way out of a body count. It is not possible. Yeah, before I continue, let Onyenyere say hi before I look into Patrick. Onyenyere, are you there? Please greet the house before I continue.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. I am very much here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all Biafrans. Without wasting much of our time, I want to say hi to every one of us that have gathered here once again to preach this gospel of redemption. Please, if you are here, you have not shared this space, kindly touch the share button. Make sure you share the space so that you can invite others to come and join. Sister Tuto, our host, I want to remind you that as well, we have heard they cannot deny this genocide. It is on record that their militias have said it that if you don't become a Muslim, you will pay with your blood. That is what the message we have heard from them. So these are the perfect the perfect reason or the perfect example to tell the world that this is a war of jihad. That is what Nigeria is fighting. We should not forget about that. I just want to remind you that so that you can reference on it. Thank you very much. I will yield my mic here so that you will, when you summarize, then I can as well make my submission. Thank you very much. I yield my mic here.
Thank you so much, Onyenyere one of Biafra land. We are happy to have you as a co-host. And then you are there with our Adede Nsi, a very handsome man from Itayana. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you. Yeah, so Biafrans, let us now look at this man that calls himself Patrick, I just want to make some connections and then I will drop the mic for our people to have one or two things to say. Please, we have our Prime Minister that will be on space today, 8 p.m. Biafra time. Do not miss it. Kindly tune in when it is time and hear the gospel of redemption, the gospel of freedom. And tomorrow is our fundraising. What are you waiting for? Please be prepared. I just want to have a little reminder with this clip.
Confidential wrote, on the other side, Biafra-linked groups are also lobbying Washington, calling for sanctions, recognition,
I hope you can hear
and
it.
even future military and oil deals. I mean, how seriously are these groups taken in U.S. policy circles?
Well, serious enough that you've got people like Ted Cruz, who
Can you hear?
is the conservative senator who chairs
Oh,
the Foreign Relations Committee. He's a big supporter of the Biafra government in exile. He's a big supporter, actually, of the Somaliland region in East Africa. And Mike Pompeo, who was the former Secretary of State, and that was under Trump's first term. And Pompeo is a very devout evangelical Christian, and so is Cruz, and they're combining the two things. Well, they're talking about the rights of the people of Southeast Nigeria, and also this issue again of protecting Christians. So yeah, they've got a lot of sway within the Republican Party, and a lot of this stuff, Charles, is about sentiment as much as anything else. It's often free from, shall we say, established facts and evidence. It's a sense that these are evangelical Christians who put that belief above all else. And the Biafran lobbyists have been extremely effective over probably 20 years, working through the religious right in the US, which brings together a lot of these evangelical groups, and they're big financiers of the Republican Party. And as the Republican Party has moved to the right, so have they. And they've become a big mobilizer of votes for the Republican parties. So there are people who are evangelical Christians.
he said that the Republican Party have moved to the right. And we have also moved to the right with them. That is what he said. They have moved to the right, and we are also moving to the right with them. Because why? Our policies and the policies of the Republican and the policies of the American aligns with our own policy. So wherever they go, we follow them. Did you see Nigeria receive any invitation to join the Board of Peace yesterday in Switzerland? The answer is no. Because Nigeria does not exist. Nigeria is collapsing and will help them to collapse. Nigeria did not receive invitation. There is a seat for Biafra. You are going to be there. Our seat has been reserved for us. No matter the number of years it will take, but it will not take so long. Our seat is there for us. We will sit among how many nations have received invitation? I think 25. Because we are aligning. Our thoughts and policies are the same. We value lives. We value the Western culture. We value progress. We value live and let live. We don't drink people's blood. We don't chant. We don't kill people. It's unethical. We value all those things that are important in life. Let me continue.
Who may not like the look of Donald Trump and his various comments about women and all the rest of it, but they bury that concern for their the greater good, which they say is the man is for Christians. He's for evangelical Christians.
Did you hear that? Even though he says so many things about women, they have buried that aside just because of what? He has more concern and values about Christians. That brings me now to Biafrans. You don't like NKERE, His Excellency, because he's the Prime Minister. And you've decided to sit on the fence instead of contributing for your own freedom. These are the American people. Despite the fact that, according to them, Oh, he said this about women. He said that about women. What did they do? They buried that and did what? Followed, because he has a policy. His interest is what? Christian protection. America first. So why don't you tell yourself Biafra first? And forget about any form of hatred, any form of emotions, every form of argument that is making you to sit on the fence. What do you think Onyendo will be telling you to do now? To sit on the fence? By sitting on the fence, do you want him to be out? I know many people don't want him to be out, because once he is out, he will know everything that they've been doing. The same thing with our former prime minister. Imam Madabu does not want him to be out, because when he comes out, he will see that Imam Madabu block our website and prevent us from donating money. He will see that Imam Madabu expunged our current prime minister. He will see so many things for himself. They don't want him to come out. He will see that they were fighting his own lobbies that he brought and made introduction for all Biafrans to see. They don't want him to be out. They want to indict him the more. They don't want. So what we have done now is what will bring our prime minister out. Electing a new prime minister. This is when the Congress person will say, wow, you people are respecting your charter. You are not acting or seeking for freedom based on emotions. You know exactly what to do. You have given us a sign that you are respecting your own charter, your own law, meaning that you can govern yourself, not making it sentimental. That is the picture we are showing to the Congress persons. Not when our prime minister will go, they'll say, who are you? You still say, I am acting. Acting on what? Why are you still acting after how many years? More than 1 year, you are still acting? You mean this paper, this document you gave to us is just a tissue paper? You mean even you that is acting did not go through it, that there should be election after 3 months? You know that your prime minister is incapacitated? He's not going to function as the prime minister? You mean you don't believe in what you gave to me? Then what do you think our Excellency Ogechukwu Nkere will say? You say, you see, we love Simon Ekpa too much. You see. It is now that they will take us very serious. This is the very first thing we have done with our charter that is official. If you don't know it. What we are doing now will bring them out. Let me tell you, our ex-prime minister was under tension with Ngozi Orebeze and Imam Madabu. They were mounting pressure on him. Ogechukwu Nkere is doing this. Ogechukwu Nkere is doing that. Sonia Akbarawa is doing this. Success is... Now they cannot, because we have a leader. Our former prime minister has nothing to do again until he comes out. Then he will decide for himself, because he's an adult, where he wants to belong. But let me tell you, he knows who is running Briggy. Hey, you people are making me to talk now. He knows that without our current prime minister, that there is no Briggy. Our ex-prime minister knows. Oh, you think when he comes out, he will begin to do exposition again? He cannot do that. We have structures down. We have our head office. Everything is falling in place. He cannot come out to exposition. He cannot come back and start a hosting program in this space. No. Instead, he will join the winning team. Yes. We have achieved a lot ever since he was detained. Our Prime Minister Ogechukwu Nkere has, in fact, if they tell our ex-Prime Minister that this is where we are, he will not believe, because it is a miracle for us to reach this level that we are even shaking the Nigerian terrorist government. They had to go and pay $9 million US to a lobbying firm to hide the tension, to hide your own genocide that is going on, to hide their negative image, to launder their own image. He will not believe we have gone this far. This is not about doing a program. No. It is beyond coming out to do program or talking in this space. It is about strategy. And they need to see these strategies in Washington, D.C. And they have seen it. For some months, they did not want to listen. They thought we were playing. Until they heard the voice of Donald Trump. Guns are blazing. He said he is coming. They now woke up. Because Ngozi Orebeze has been deceiving them that she's doing something to pin us down. Imam Madabu has been deceiving the Nigerian government that he is doing something to pin us down, that they will listen to them. We cannot listen to them. They are saboteurs working for Nigerian government on their payroll. Nigeria planted all of them. If they can pay US lobbying firm $9 million, how much do you think they pay Ngozi Orabueze? Ngozi Orabueze collected $150 US. And then who did they shift it to? They shifted it to our prime minister now, that he was the one that collected the money. Meanwhile, they were the ones that collected that money. Why am I saying this? So if everybody that hated President Trump because he had bad mouth where women are, if they can push it aside and now picked on that important and focus of him, which is to save Christians' life, because all of them are Christians. You see someone coming out to save your life. They said, okay, let us support him on these grounds. He's there for us. And you are there sitting on the fence. You don't want to support your freedom because you don't like Ogechukwu Nkere. I think you are the greatest fool I've ever seen on earth. I want to tell you that without you or with you, Biafra must come. It is a prophecy from Onyendu. It must come. Let's continue.
And in that case, we're going to give him our support. So Trump, the evangelical base is absolutely critical for Trump. And that's, I think, it accounts for some of the success of the Biafra lobby in the US.
Well, that's a very...
Did you hear that? Some of our success of the Biafran lobbyists in the US, because we have aligned with his own aim and objective. And we are getting that success. Ask Ngozi Orabueze that you are giving your money. I saw yesterday one of her mad person posting for ID card capturing. How many times will you capture? You capture today, you capture tomorrow. Money you've not seen, ID card you've not seen. You cannot use it anyway. Did you hear her? Ngozi does not have any lobbyist. Emma Madabu, they don't have. What are you giving them your money for? Why don't you bring your money to where it is happening? Where you used to donate before? What has changed? Nothing has changed. Instead, the tempo has increased. That is what is happening. Nothing has changed. Bring your money and support your freedom. Did you see our Prime Minister go to sleep? Or did he come out and tell you, oh, I cannot go to Washington, D.C., I'm tired? Or did you hear our man Zelias telling you, you see, I'm not working with Briggy again? No. Instead, to make their work more effective, I pray this Patrick Smith should come again next month and release another one. He decided to register his own and be the boss and take decision, move when he's supposed to move, because this 2026, hey, the sky is just going to be the starting point. There's a statement I'm looking for that will take us to his speech.
Illuminating assessment from you, and in that context, Patrick, I mean, is there
illuminating assessment from Patrick? Because this man here sitting down here, Chris, is a big ewu. Nigeria clouded him from head to toe. Illuminating, right? Assessment. He did not say illuminating mark or illuminating statement. No. Illuminating assessment, because he knows that for this Patrick Smith, who is a renowned journalist, a British national, to come to this live program and say that the Biafran lobbyists they are extremely effective. That is an assessment. How is it an assessment? He knows the stages that they have started. He knows where we started from, and he knows where we are, and he has foreseen where we are going. That is an assessment. In education, we call it ongoing assessment or formative assessment. So he has been hiding to assess the work of the Biafra lobbyist for more than 2 years now. So for him to come out and educate this Ewu, who is a Biafran here trying to speak Fone, he couldn't hold himself. He said, oh, thank you for this illuminating assessment, not illuminating marks or statements. You have really assessed the Biafra people. Yes, they are serious. We are damn serious to get our freedom. Because, it is only an outsider that will educate you and you will believe. My people say, prophet in you, it is there in the Bible. Even they did the same thing to Jesus. Prophet don't have respect in his hometown. If it was a Biafran activist that told Chris the extent or this assessment that we have got, he will not believe. But why is he believing? Because a British national is telling him, who is not biased. He had to tell him the extent we have gone. Do you think our lobbies should do more than this? The answer is yes. We need to give them more oxygen to do this work. They need more oxygen. I don't know if that numbers will be here. Let's see.
A risk that fringe or poorly sourced claims could begin to shape US foreign policy towards Nigeria? So Nigeria's internal security crisis is no longer just a domestic issue. It's become a high-stakes battle.
I think it's not here. Let me continue, because if I want to play to where he made that comment about my focus with him is because he came and gave a complexity argument in that program. We don't have time. We need to round up and then get ready for our prime minister. What I wanted to pick where he said something about the number of people that have been killed, because he pushed back against the Christian genocide, framing with this argument. And he said, the view we have been getting is that there is a major security crisis in Nigeria. I am quoting him. But that is across the board. There are Muslims, there are Christians, there are people of other faith, and indeed atheists. I mean, every person, every citizen could be subjected to this violence. I think that is the point. That is not targeted against one particular faith. Everyone is tied up in it. That was his core position. So he cited security trackers showing over 10,000 people killed in violent attack in 2025 and calling it a kind of, I don't know, it will take time to play to that place. He called it a kind of low-level conflict level. Can you imagine? Boris Johnson came and said Nigeria is safe. And he is repeating exactly what Boris Johnson said, but he paraphrased his own. Saying what is happening, calling what is happening. So 10,000 people is just a kind of low-level conflict level. And he compared that to Ukraine or Sudan. So in his argument, you see that it's not about religious persecution. No. It is a nationwide security crisis affecting everyone equally. That is what Patrick said. And he added, I think it had more resonance in the US, where the religious right and the Christian lobbying groups are extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. That's our people now. So if you now reason what he said now, that the Christian genocide narrative is being driven by American evangelical politics, not by fact on the ground. That is the narrative of what he's saying. It's not by fact on the ground, no, but by American-driven evangelical politics. Because he's a US national, a UK citizen. They don't respect Christians in their own country. If you watch what is happening, you will see that whatever UK is doing, Nigeria is copying it. Whatever Iran is doing, Nigeria is copying it. Whatever is happening in Venezuela, Nigeria is copying it. Syria, Nigeria is copying it. So for him, killing of thousands of Christians in Nigeria, he classified it as a kind of low-level conflict level compared to what is happening in Ukraine. Meanwhile, the American watchdogs, they are telling you that what is happening in Biafra land, what is happening in Nigeria is far, far way ugly than what is happening in all the conflict zone. And statistics have shown that 72% of Christians killed in the world are killed in Nigeria. But this idiot here, because he's a British national, is coming to tell you it is a low-level conflict level, that everyone is being targeted. That is the point I'm saying about him. You see? And his argument as well, because Smith complicity arguments sound reasonable on the surface if you listen to what he said. Yes, we know Muslims are also killed by Boko Haram and ISWAP. We know that Nigeria has multiple overlapping security crises. We know. Banditry is there, terrorism, resource conflict, all contribute to the death toll, we know. But this argument, commits a fundamental error because it uses aggregate violence to obscure targeted persecution. Why would he say that? If you go back to his analysis, you say that analysis cannot explain why are Christians 2.7 times more likely to be killed by Fulani militants than Muslims in the Middle Belt. That his analysis could not explain this. It could not. His analysis could not explain why did ISWAP explicitly declare all Nigerian Christians legitimate target. We saw the news a few weeks ago and offer us three choices. Either you convert to Islam or you pay your jizya tax or you die. His analysis did not cover that. Does he want to tell us he doesn't know? His analysis could not answer why have 19,000 to 20,000 churches destroyed while mosques remain largely untouched in Christian majority areas. His analysis could not answer why do survivors consistently report attackers shouting Allah Akbar and specifically asking victims if they are Christians before they are being killed. His analysis did not cover that because he is playing the template of Britain as well. But the God of Biafra struck him and he had to say credible things about Biafra. His analysis could not answer why does Nigeria account for 72%? Okay, let me send it again. 72% of Christians that are killed in the whole wide world. His analysis could not answer that. It could not also answer why are entire Christian villages systematically depopulated while neighboring Muslim settlements remain untouched. It could not answer. He couldn't answer that. So that's why I call the complexity argument. He's basically asking us to believe that all of this is coincidence. That is what he's trying to portray in that part of his interview. That the pattern is random. That religion has nothing to do with the violence that, invokes religious languages, targeting religious building and all that. That is what he wants us to believe. But Emmanuel Ogbebu, an international human rights lawyer, immediately demolished this argument. He said, you cannot look at these attacks and say religion was not a factor. He countered him immediately. These are attacks accompanied by cries, God is great, Allah Akbar. You cannot separate religion from attacks where killer openly invoke faith before they kill you and ask you, are you a Christian before they kill you? If you say you're a Christian, they kill you. If you say you're a Muslim, they will give you something to chant and quote to show that you're a Muslim. So even if we accept that some violence in Nigeria is not religious, even if we acknowledge that Muslims also suffer from terrorism in the north, none of that changes the documented fact that Christians are being systematically targeted in a coordinated campaign of violence that meets the international legal definition of genocide. That's why we call it genocide. And they are running away from calling it the name it is. So this man's argument is the exact narrative the Nigerian government paid 9 million to promote. Yes, there is violence, but it is not really about religion. Everybody suffers equally. That is what Smith is saying. But tell that to that 600,000, let him go and tell this to that 600,000 Christians living in IDP camp in Benue. Let him also tell that to the families in Bomb village who were murdered on the New Year Eve by Fulani. Or is it to the Christians in Iga village who were given ultimatum, convert or you pay tax or you die? Then they will tell you this is not complexity. This is genocide going on in their different communities. But you are out there doing propaganda. You see, I will use my mic here before we go to the Davos incident that happened yesterday. We'll start with Donald Trump before I go to the foreign affairs minister. So, my co-host, are you there? If you have anything to say.
Yeah, Nsi, are you there? Nsi?
Nsi, you just took up the position to help. He
Okay.
cannot speak now. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. You see, about this our Nigeria and their lobbyists, the money they are paying, why their citizen is hungry, why their citizens are dying. Nigeria is a terrorist and a corrupt country. That is why our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu called them a zoo. If you look at everything they are doing, it is similar, it is like that of a zoo country, a place where you can even identify them to be animals. How can a country that their citizen does not have a job, a country where their citizens are only based on content creating before they can make money, no any work they have created for their citizens, but they can pay $9 million for lobbying, to lobby against, just because they want to lobby against Biafra Republic government in exile. They want to lobby and make their propaganda in order to cover their crimes. It has been a long time Nigeria have been covering their crimes, but God just want to show us mercy. That is why their crime and everything has come to limelight. Everybody can now see what Nigeria looks like. A country where they have Muslim president, Muslim governor, a country where their vice president is a terrorist himself, which none of Nigeria, those gullible people that call themselves Nigerians, they cannot come outside and say that they have not seen Shetima with his terrorists eating together. For you to see how gullible Nigerians are, they are the one coming out to cry, yet they are going to be the one to tell us, oh, it's only Nigeria we have, we don't have any other country. I look at these people, I say, how foolish is this set of people? You don't have any other country, you have Nigeria. That means if that Nigeria want to kill you, you must remain and you must stay there and allow Nigeria to kill you, just because you don't have any other country, you have only Nigeria. Your Nigeria that you have seen all the atrocity, all the impunity that is going on, where your Nigeria is recruiting Boko Haram into their military, into their police. Even they went to an extent of telling you that if you are a bandit or you are a terrorist, I don't even call them a bandit, all these baptismal name they give them they are nothing but a terrorist. They are telling their terrorists that they have the chance to become anything they want to be in Nigeria. But when they see you with a flag of Biafra, they call you a terrorist. They bring you to kill you. They sentence you like they sentence our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whom they have not seen any atom of terrorism or any weapon or anything that we confine him as a terrorist. They have not seen anything. They have not found anything. The only thing they have seen as their reason to sentence him is because he wants freedom for his people. I saw that these northern leaders, they went and make a meeting and said that they are ready to fight anything that will divide their useless country. I look at these people, I say, what are these people taking on? So they are telling us that we should remain a zombie and die with them, or we should be there so that they will be doing anything they want to do with us. That is why I want to use this opportunity to call up Biafrans. Remove this your bite-biteness, remove this your hatred. If there is any time that we have seen Biafra with our korokoro eyes, this is the time. Why not all of us come together? Why not you come? Come, let us join hands together and do this thing. Some of you, hatred will not allow you because you are not the one in charge, because you don't like who is in charge. When we tell you Biafra first, what do you think that Biafra first means? Biafra first means that you are not coming here for a position. You are not coming here for what you are going to gain. You are not coming here because I have noticed that so many people, because one thing that you are expecting or one thing that you want to be that you are not has been making you feel so much anger in you, and you want to give up because you are not that which you want to be. Maybe you want to be the vice, the APM after the prime minister. Now you want to, you are expecting APM and you are not seeing it. Because of that reason, you feel like your entitlement has not been given to you. Is that what we are doing? Is that the attribute of freedom? We are here for freedom. I, particularly Onyenyen, I am not here for any position. I am not here for anybody to call me any recognition or whatever. Don't see me. I don't want you to see me. I am here that let me get this freedom for my children. I don't want them to suffer what I am suffering in that zoo country called Nigeria. I am here to help my leaders to see that this Biafra come to reality. I am not here for any position. I am not here for anything. So this is supposed to be our mindset. Let us come together, irrespective of whoever you may be, irrespective of your qualification in your degree or whatever. Because I have heard so many people, oh, this person is not educated. I laugh at them. How come somebody you called that is not educated is going to Washington, D.C., is shaking hands with the people that matters? Are you not telling me that Prime Minister, that our former Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, that placed him or that put him in that position to go to that Washington, D.C., are you telling me that you are wiser than him? Are you telling me that our Prime Minister does not know anything? Is that what you are trying to let us know? For those of you that are saying, oh, he's a mechanic, oh, he's not educated. Oh, I look at these people, I say, what kind of Biafrans is that? Oh, these people, the mentality of some of our people, when you look at it, sometimes you want to throw out. How can you tell me that somebody who is shaking hand, who is communicating with Washington, D.C., with the lawmakers, and you want to make me believe that that person is not, he doesn't know how to speak English, is not educated, then you want to be the one, you are not the one who is educated, right? Those of them who think that they have a professor in their title, those of them who think that they have a doctorate degree in their title, what are they doing in their post? In their very post they are handling, what are the results? What are the things that they have, the works that they have brought forward, that we make us call them professor, that we make us call them that doctor they are claiming that they are, if not a doctor that is written on their profile? Because whatever you call yourself, that is what you are. Don't come to us and speak English and you think English is what makes you what you are. It's not English you speak that makes you what you are. What makes you what you are? What people are going to respect you for is what your result. Are the results that you are putting in on the table? That is what will make people regard you, and that is what will make your name go far. So I want to once again tell our people that tomorrow is our day fundraising. Wherever you are, come into the Zoom. If it is one agenda you have, bring it. We need it now. This is the time we need it. We must get Biafra. Let me tell you, if you did not participate in getting this Biafra, you are going to reap what you sow. Don't forget that there is what we call law of sowing and reaping, and that is what I just want you to know. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you very much, our host, for giving me the opportunity to speak. Thank you very much, every of our listeners. I yield my mic here and day one. Thank you.
There were my co-host. Thank you. Biafrans, I believe you have heard what our minister, you remember he's a minister. This is a Bahrain admin. But you see, he's always here, being admin for Bahrain. And if you're in Bahrain, what are you waiting for? Contact him and pay your dues and send your receipt to him. He is always here, supporting what we are doing.
Government is outright denying that there's any kind of genocide or targeted persecution
I'll give to you
against
1
Christians.
minute,
Really, what they're saying is they're saying that it's equal opportunity violence in northern Nigeria, which is absolutely not true. They'll cite Muslim on Muslim violence, but the Muslim on Muslim violence that's happening in northern Nigeria is radical Islam, Boko Haram and ISWA, targeting Muslims that don't hold their radical beliefs. Christians are inordinately targeted, almost 5 times more likely to be
most
killed
dangerous
than
place in the world
Absolutely.
To be a Christian.
50,000 Christians since 2009. 70% of all the Christians killed around the world are killed in northern Nigeria. I've stood at the mass graves of friends of mine who've been buried many, many times, scores of mass graves, where 20, 30 people are buried in these graves. I've never stood at a Muslim mass grave. The Nigerian government is outright denying that there's any kind of genocide or targeted persecution against Christians.
Why?
And really, what they're saying is they're saying that it's equal opportunity violence in northern Nigeria, which is absolutely not true. They'll cite Muslim on Muslim violence, but the Muslim on Muslim violence that's happening in northern Nigeria is radical Islam, Boko Haram and ISWA, targeting Muslims that don't hold their radical beliefs. Christians are inordinately targeted, almost 5 times more likely to be
most
killed
dangerous
than
place in the world
Absolutely.
To be a Christian.
50,000 Christians since 2009. 70% of all the Christians killed around the world are killed in northern Nigeria. I've stood at the mass graves of friends of mine who've been buried many, many times, scores of mass graves, where 20, 30 people are buried in these graves. I've never stood at a Muslim mass grave.
Yeah, you heard that. And this is what Patrick Smith said. It is a low-level conflict zone. His own estimate was only 10,000 Christians have been killed. And here is a member of the U.S. watchdogs telling you more than 50,000. Mama Stella, you have the mic. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a very interesting topic. I salute everyone. Yeah, so because they are attacking more Christians, than any other people. You understand? So if Muslims say they are being attacked also, if you're being attacked also, is that why all of us Christians must just shut their mouths and let them continue to kill? So the truth is that they are killing more Christians than any other person, than any other kind of situation. Because you see, Islamization is going on hands in hands with displacement or land grabbing. Because Fulani, they don't have a country of their own. So they are also using, Islam, and then they also want to displace everybody and have Nigeria as their own country. So this is what it is. It's just going hands in hands. So the truth is that if you don't see them killing Christians, okay, they're also killing any other person that is an obstacle to their displacement agenda. So another thing I wanted to say is that the Islamic jihad is going on, and this is also why one can easily say for sure Christians are missing. You understand? Because Rep Moore went down to Nigeria. It was on the spot assessment. He saw it with his own eyes. He saw Nigerians living in ID refugee camp. You can imagine you are a Nigerian, but you are in a refugee camp in your same country, in your own country. It's not hard of. So Rep Moore saw it, and this is why he went back boldly and told Trump what he saw with videos. You understand? Quran is another evidence to show that Christians are missing. If you go to Quran, it's quoted, kill anybody that refuses to agree or get converted. Kill the people of the book. Chop off their necks. Come back, I will give you 72 virgins in paradise. It is also written. It is in Quran. So Quran is the evidence of where everything anybody is asking and looking for and confusing themselves of. Christians are missing in Nigeria and in Biafra land. The evidence is Quran. They don't even hide it. They don't hide it. We saw last time where some of them, Nigerian government military, with helicopter, dropped weapons for them, the bandits. So they were shooting in the air and telling their video and the whole world that, listen, Biafrans, just come near. We will deal with you with this weapon they just supplied to us. Nigerian military just supplied to us. Biafrans, where are you? We will kill you with this weapon. They did the video. There, he went viral. So nobody should deceive anybody anywhere. If they can go and do a census, they will find out that the number of last year is not the same number of this year. It's not the same number. In fact, from 1967 to date, Nigerian government have wiped away at least 20 million Biafrans only. Because 99% of Biafra are Christians or traditional religion, which is all of them are or Judaism, which have their root in they're all Judea-based religion. So what are we talking about? We are being targeted. Biafrans are being targeted in any form, anyhow. This is why you also see Dangote trailer jihad, where they will use Dangote trailer and run across Biafrans and kill them in their hundreds. And do anybody say anything? Nobody says anything. Listen, we are sick and tired of this situation. Okay, yesterday there's this rumor that they are bringing on the table that they want to divide Nigeria only into two. That the Northerners will go with their Islam and the Southerners will go with their Christianity. I tell you, Yoruba that is supposed to be part of South, 79% of Yoruba are Muslims. Please. So, Rep Moore, President Trump, if you want to divide Nigeria, divide it into 4. Hausa will go to their own nation, have their own country. Yoruba will have their own country and worship any god they want to. Middle Belt will have their own country and worship any god they want to. Biafrans will have their own country and worship any god they want to. And then for Fulani, Mujahid Arabs, they are Arabs. They are not Africans. And they can't be Nigerians. Fulani that is in Nigeria will go back to Futajalon where they came from. If not so, if Yoruba said is their brother and they are in harmony with them, they can absorb Fulani to their new nation. If anyway, Hausa have said they've said they are sick and tired of Fulani, that Fulani have not done them any good since they come in contact with Fulani. So it's the Yoruba that is falling in love with Fulani now. So Yoruba nation can absorb Fulani and let them marry themselves and worship Allah they have been worshiping. Because, like I told you, over 79% of Yoruba are Muslims already. So please, President Trump, divide Nigeria and divide it into 4. So this will bring a lasting peace in that geographical location. Thank you, Tutor, for the opportunity. I stop here.
Yes, so our senior citizen, they have to divide it to how it was before. It wasn't a two nations, no, it was four. Before the, what was his name, Lord Lugard, forcefully merged us together. We are not compatible and we will never be. Yes, that is it. We want to go back to how we were, enjoy our lives, respect our culture, value our culture. But Biafrans, before we reach there, what are you supposed to do? It will not be a miracle. Remember what Trump told the Iranians? Take over your institutions. Everything that belongs to you, take over it in Biafra land. Anything that belongs to Nigeria should be evicted from Biafra land. And for that to happen, we need a J and a Gemma. The United States of America, what they are doing is to also help us to tell the world that genocide is going on in Nigeria. They have become our media channel right now. But we have a role to play as Biafrans to fund our freedom. When you hear senior citizens break down how we are missing, how we are disappearing, she's telling you the truth. This is the news that Nigeria media will never let you know. Thank you so much, senior citizen. Get ready for the next session. Now we want to look at what happened at, what do they call this place? That this useless man, Davos. Because President Trump exposed Nigeria at Davos. Yes. Letting them know that no matter the lobbying, if you like, if you are his mother, collect money and say you are very close to Donald Trump, I will lobby. The lobbyists will go and turn his mind against the genocide going on in Nigeria. It will never happen. Nigeria selectively picked the lobbyists that are made up of members that are very close to President Trump. But he said, you know what? Keep friendship aside. Exactly what our Prime Minister, His Excellency, Honorable Ogechukwu Nkere is doing. Keep friendship aside. Keep emotions aside. We must face the reality. People are dying. So if you've collected 9 million to come and, talk to Congress persons to come to me, or because you have direct contact with me and all that, keep it aside. I'm not interested in that friendship. I'm not interested in that relationship. People are dying. You see? So he had to go up to the stage yesterday and say, you know what? This is exactly what is happening. So I want to play his clip before we continue.
And in Nigeria, we're annihilating terrorists who are killing Christians. We've hit them very hard. They've killed thousands and thousands of Christians. What's that all about? And in Nigeria, we're annihilating terrorists who are killing Christians. We've hit them very hard. They've killed thousands and thousands of Christians. What's that all about? And in Nigeria, we're annihilating terrorists who are killing Christians. We've hit them very hard. They've killed thousands and thousands of Christians. What's that all about?
You see? Here is he confirming that thousands of Christians are being massacred in Nigeria by the terrorists, stating this during a Board of Peace conference yesterday. So the world can no longer deny it. Nigeria is failing to protect its people. So Nigeria should be divided. Let's go back to who we were before the forceful amalgamation by Britain. That's what we want. We don't share the same value with them. We want to go back and be ourselves. So the 9 million US dollars cannot hide this truth anymore. Now, you see, while that useless Minister of Foreign Affairs, I don't even know, they created an office and gave to Bianca Ojukwu just to go and jail Simon Ekpa. After that, we did not hear anything about Bianca Ojukwu again. They now gave her the title, is it Minister of State of Foreign Affairs? So that she can play that role very well and jail our Prime Minister, ex-Prime Minister. Little did she know that once that is achieved, that the lion in the then finance minister will manifest to be acting prime minister, do what he could do under acting with the title acting. now elevated him to the position of the prime minister. You see, my people, we have to be very, very sincere with ourselves. Drop emotions aside. With all the saboteurs that surrounded our previous prime minister, we wouldn't have reached the level that we have reached today. Take it or leave it. I don't care what you feel. That is the simple truth. Because Ngozi Orabreze will never allow our prime minister, the previous prime minister, to be focused. She will cause confusion. When our current prime minister will want to take 2 steps, she said that she will drag them 5 steps backward. Are you sure we wouldn't have passed the level that we were before our prime minister was jailed? We would have. But a lot of saboteurs surrounded him. And we were still crawling. Only God knows how he managed to even fix the convention. Who were those surrounding him? Those with fake academic titles, professors. Titles that there is nothing in their brain, coconut brain, only water is inside. But look at now that our Prime Minister, Ogechukwu Nkere, His Excellency, Ogechukwu Nkere, does not have friends. Look at how focused he is. Look at what he has been able to achieve within 1 year. And he's still achieving. You see what is happening? So while this madman called Tuga, I had to check where he comes from. He's from Bauchi State. Hey, he is from Bauchi State, the seat of terrorism. While he was appearing on CNN, claiming we haven't failed complete. I'm coming to him, but I want to start from President Trump and then connect with that mad dog. He said, we haven't failed completely. And talking about bonds yield. I will play his video very soon, his interview. President Trump was there in that same Switzerland yesterday at the Board of Peace, signing a ceremony, exposing Nigeria to the entire world. In Nigeria, this is what he said, which we heard in that video. We are doing what? Annihilating terrorists who are killing Christians. We've hit them very hard. They have killed thousands and thousands of Christians. Not 10,000 that is undermined by Patrick Smith because he's a British citizen. So he has to play the script of Britain. They have killed thousands and thousands of Christians. Not 177 in 5 years, as Toga claimed in his first video when Donald Trump threatened them with guns blazing. He jumped out in that interview. Because of time, I will not start to play on that. That is only 177 Christians that have died in 5 years. I'm like, really? Not isolated incidents, so no. As Tuga described, though, not everyone suffers equally, as Tuga argued. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. And President Trump continued, many good things are happening. In Nigeria, we are annihilating terrorists who are killing Christians. We've hit them very hard. How did he get the statistics? From the Biafra Republic government in exile and our lobbies, Mazi, Obong Elias, Washington and Madison LLC. And you could see that comment alone have destroyed the 9 million lobbying contract because Nigeria have spent upfront 4.5 in December to hire DCI group to communicate what? We said it in the beginning. Communicate actions to protect, not protecting. Actions to protect. And we know the purpose of it, just to control the narrative in Washington, D.C., nothing more. To undermine the work of our Biafra Republic government in exile lobbies. But after the result, what now comes out after they have spent this money? Trump was there at Davos in front of the entire world. They have killed thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of Christians. That $9 million did not work. Shetima was also there. I have his video, but no time to play. You will also hear the rubbish that that Shetima was saying. Trump said, no, these people that are here, before their vice president, I don't know, I think event like this, Tinubu will disappear. You see? Trump said, no, I don't fear anybody. I'll tell you the way it is. I don't even know who spoke first, whether it was Trump or Shetima. Don't listen to what this terrorist is saying. They have killed thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of Christians. So despite that money that has been paid, Toga media told denying genocide that only 177 in 5 years, according to what he claimed in the first interview he had with the same CNN. None of them will go to Sky News to have interview or Fox News. Just of recent, my people, have you seen Sky News is beginning to report news about Nigerian genocide? I said, where were they? Where were they all this while? Because the only news media we know is Fox News Media. Sky News abandoned Biafrans. Sky News abandoned the genocide going on in Nigeria and aligned themselves with CNN to hide the genocide, aligned themselves with Al Jazeera, aligned themselves with BBC. Only Fox News stood with Biafrans and Nigerian Christians to report the genocide. Only Fox News stood with us. You see? These are the people, of course, they're reporting it free of charge. You know, Toga said, we haven't completely failed. Oh, Mbao, I will come to him. I'm just starting with Trump. Trump said, Mbao, thousands and thousands of Christians have been killed. That is what $9 billion US bought Nigeria. The killings. So he made this statement during the Board of Peace signing a ceremony, which is a newly established international organization for global peace and security, because UN has messed up. UN supported the reintegration of terrorists into the Nigerian army to come and kill us, Biafrans. That is what UN did. They encouraged Nigeria. Oh yeah, recruit them into your army. Wait, my people, let me play the video. So that we need to back up this thing with proof. You know, we don't like doing a SMS. My co-host, are you there? My co-host, yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Let me search for this video. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, Biafrans, please come on the mic. Let us dollar Nigeria vam, because not vam, the one where we say in name na parrot. We just want to
Yeah, I've
scatter.
seen it. Yeah, thank
Are
you.
you
Yeah, I've seen it. Let me play it. Let's play and hear what Antonio said, the secretary to UN, because now there's nothing like UN. They've pushed them to one side. Let me just play. Thank you so much, my co-host.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said on Tuesday he fully supported moves to reintegrate surrendering Islamist insurgents in northeastern Nigeria. The country has been fighting Islamist group Boko Haram and its offshoot Islamic State West Africa province for more than a decade. Thousands and forced millions to flee their homes. As part of efforts to end the conflict, the government is reintegrating fighters who voluntarily surrender. Speaking after his visit to a camp housing some fighters who surrendered and another housing in...
Sorry, why I'm playing this? Because Tuga made reference to this reintegration in his interview in CNN. That is why I'm playing it, so that we can make the connections. You see what is going on in Nigeria? Antonio, UN chief, backed Nigeria integration of insurgency, that's all the terrorists, into their army and call it key to peace. And when Tuga went to CNN yesterday for interview, when he was at Davos, he repeated the same thing as one of the steps that they have taken. Wait, make I finish this one.
Internally displaced persons in Borno State capital Maiduguri. Guterres said the integration program would help achieve peace.
I want to appeal strongly to the international community to understand Borno as a state of hope, to support humanitarian action in Borno, but to recognize the enormous challenges that Borno faces with climate change, with still Boko Haram active, even if weakened, and to invest in the Borno of hope.
However, the reintegration of the fighters is still creating tensions in Maiduguri. Weary citizens have borne the brunt of more than a decade of Boko Haram's brutal attacks. The Borno state government in December started closing some camps for internally displaced people. citing improved security and the surrender of Boko Haram fighters. But humanitarian groups say it is still unsafe for people to return to their homes.
This is what UN supported. Little did they know that the President of the United States will form another organization worldwide with special invitation for you to join. It's not open for everyone. It's not open for Nigeria. Board of Peace. They signed everything, put it together, approved their charter, everything. Bam. It is now official. A new international organization for global peace and security. Nigeria is not there. There was no invitation for Nigeria because Nigeria has become the killing field for Christians. Nigeria has become the hub for terrorism to the extent that the UN Secretary Antonio had to inform and support them to reintegrate terrorists into their army for peace to reign. And it's also aligned with the word of Gumi. If you don't want terrorists in your land, if you don't want bandits in your land, there will be no peace. If you want bandits, you have to allow them to take over your forest that they're already in the forest. This is the word of Gumi. Yeah, senior citizen, your hand is up before I continue.
Yeah, because the infiltration or the what do you call it of the bandits into Nigeria army have resulted that the bandits are in Nigeria army. So I want to use this opportunity to tell Trump, please, if you just like you just finished hitting them hard in the bush, please try and hit them hard in Nigeria barracks, military barracks, Nigeria police barracks, and all their barracks in Nigeria. It has become a hub for bandits. They are there and they are chopping off heads in their barracks. If you people don't live near barracks anymore in Nigeria, you dare not go into military barrack or police barrack in Nigeria because you will not come out. So the war front has changed the zone. It has changed from barracks, from bush now into barracks. So, sir, let your gun ablazing. Get into Nigeria military barracks and Nigeria military police. That's where the bandits are hiding now as we speak. Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you, senior citizen. That is where they are hiding. Ribado has given them uniform as forest guard. You will also hear this idiot linking them. We are coming. Onye, my co-host, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was just wondering what give Nigeria the kind of boldness that they have in committing this kind of terrorism and heinous crime against humanity, and they are getting away with it. Little did I know that UN was the one who is encouraging Nigeria, who emboldened Nigeria to be doing this manner of terrorism. It was UN. UN is a terrorist organization. Thank God that our Trump has formed another organization that we foresee peace in the whole world. UN, you are gone for good. You will never rise again. UN can never. UN is a terrorist organization. That is why they are killing Biafrans. UN cannot say anything. Because of the so much boldness that they have given to Nigeria, that is why this gullible UN give 6 months ultimatum for this useless Nigeria to release our leader. Nigeria did not listen to them, not knowing that these people are paddy, they are partners in crime. That 6 months is just for formality. UN and Nigeria is a terrorist organization. Thank you very much. That's just what I want to tip in.
Yeah, thank you so much, my co-host. Yes, it's you. You know, I made a program every time. I love making reference to it. Nigeria is a member of a Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC. And when they go to any voting in UN, I think they're up to 57 in that group. They give the vote in block. And you can never win. Oh my God, Biafrans, we don't know what is coming. We will never get recognition with UN because they already have 56 members of OIC which will vote down. They will vote down, they will pin down, if there's any word like that, for us not to have recognition. If Biafra knows what is happening, they will come together and fund their freedom. Do what we are supposed to do as Biafrans and leave the rest for the international communities to put heads together. UN will never give us recognition. Go back and look at these countries that make up OIC. None of them. If you go to the Security Council, 5 of them, only one person is interested in our lives. Only one country is interested in the survival of Christians, and that country is United States of America. France is a member, they will never vote for us to leave. UK is a member, they will never vote. China is a member, they will never vote. Which one again? Hey, one is left. Wait, France, Russia. Yes, those are the 5 members, Security Council members in UN. And 5 of them must vote complete. If one person does not vote, like what happened during Palestinian state, it doesn't fly. So who will vote for you? No one, except United States. The other 4 will refuse to vote. So we have to come together and fund our freedom. Biafra is here. Is here looking at us. Just a little push and we get it. It should be a thing of joy for us. With this new organization, they said Board of Peace. So if you look at it, Nigeria is not among the countries that joined this Board of Peace. Yes, because Trump creates international organization for peace. How can Nigeria be there when 72% of the worldwide Christian death occur? He's not invited to join because you can never join without invitation. They must send invitation to you. They cannot. Because Trump has said they have killed thousands and thousands and thousands of Christians. So you don't invite genocide perpetrators to a Board of Peace. What peace are they coming to talk? So the Board of Peace members countries are those committed to protect vulnerable population. That is their goal and objective. You know, when you join the OIC, I told you that they have goals and objectives of that organization. That was the reason they had to delay Nigerian seats for how many years? 17 good years. Until Babangida rose up and said, yes, when they asked Babangida, are you ready? Are you ready to abide by our objectives? Babangida said, yes, register Nigeria officially. After 17 years, they had to wait because they know Nigeria is the largest country in West Africa. Once they grab Nigeria, other neighboring Africans will fall for it. And the first objective is to make sure you support your member country. Whatever is happening in Nigeria now, once they will now put that caption of territorial integrity, you're attacking our borders, blah, blah, blah. All of them will come together, raise fund. Because one of the benefits of joining OIC is that you can get fund at any time. You can give you money. I am coming to that later. Money without interest. And Nigeria love borrowing. So they use the weak point of Nigeria to lure them into being a member of OIC. You cannot find those members working separately. They have an agenda. So the board of members of that country, now you must be committed to protect vulnerable population and combat terrorism decisively. Nigeria is funding terrorism. So how can they combat terrorism? So Nigeria doesn't qualify to join that group. Because while they spend $9 million US dollars on lobby, they have released 48 terrorism financial without trial. They have even denied that the attack has happened, another victim to stay quiet. You see? Yeah, senior citizen, your hand is up. So Trump have seen all this, and he said it openly. Yes, senior citizen.
Yeah, thank you. Talking about the Board of Peace. Yesterday, a Christian guy was going viral, and he was Christians. This one is for you. And he was trying to, was trying to connect the Board of Peace arrangement to the prophecy of the apocalypse, of a revelation in the Bible. You understand? But so I want to use this opportunity to also address Christians. Okay. Now we have two things at hand. Board of Peace just came up. We are not sure what it is. Okay. To say, I mean, going by the prophecy, they said somebody will come and speak of peace, 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 and after that, sudden will come. Okay, let's put that aside. But you see, at least the devil, eh? This devil we know already that is Islamic jihadist agenda and their gang. We know how they operate. Christians don't like this. In fact, they are particularly after you. So what we do is to make sure we come out of this first, and then join the Board of Peace and watch what they're doing. At least we have the Bible in our hands to always cross-check, to always balance with the situation. And then we now find out, the full agenda of Board of Peace. But so far, Board of Peace want you to rescue you from the hands of the Islamic jihadists and their agenda. So please, Christians, don't be too naive or don't be too, because you see, it's out of two options. You must take one for now. And I tell you, it's better we take Board of Peace for now, because we have seen Islamic Jihad that is after us. They are after, they are not hiding it. You have seen them in action. You have seen their way of life. You have seen their displacement. So, Turban Best Calabar, let's join Board of Peace and then save our heads from Islamic jihadists first, and then watch, because Board of Peace, they've not unfolded all their package. You understand? So let's join forces together and liberate ourselves from Islamic jihadi agenda going on in Nigeria and in Biafra land, and then we'll find out what Board of Peace, more of their agenda. Thank you. I stop here.
Thank you so much.
Sorry.
Yeah, so people, please share the space if you are just joining. Yeah, my co-host. Any message?
Sorry, please. I just want to contribute to what our sister Stella just said. You see, that is the problem we always have with this. Some of those this religion, these are Christian people, always prophesying, always seeing things, and yet they cannot see that by Fulani is planning to Islamize them. They are not doing anything to pertaining this what is going on in Nigeria. How Fulani is trying so hard to Islamize everybody, but what they will see is what Donald Trump is doing. These are the problem. Most of the Christianity in Nigerians are doing. If they are, before you know, they will tell you rapture or 666 is coming or whatever. But they are not seeing that Fulani want to Islamize them. All of them are sleeping. All of them, even when Fulani go to their church and kidnap them and kill them, yet they will keep silent. They are not facing their pastors who refuse to do something. Their pastors who is what they cared about is their tithe and offering. They are not asking their pastors a question. What are you doing at this point in time that Fulani is seriously fighting to Islamize everybody? So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that our own Mazi Donald Trump is the man we have a trust in him. At least he's the only president that has stand for Christians. Not only standing, he is doing everything to see that Christians are protected. So let us support him. We know that he's a good person and he has a good interest for we, the Christian. So we are going to support him. That is just the message I want to contribute to Biafrans. Let us support those who are standing for justice. Thank you very much. I yield my mic.
Thank you so much, my co-host, for talking on that message. We don't care, as my co-host rightly said. Where was that man when Fulani was killing his people? Where was he? They have jumped out again. Initially, when they brought airstrike, oh, it's coming for resources, it's coming for this, it's coming for that. We don't want all these religious people that are the most wicked people on earth. They are always waiting for opportunity to to lie to their members, and then from there they will come and tell you, sow seed of brightness. Can't you see? End time. No, we will follow board of peace. That board of peace, the head of that board of peace is the one that gave us listening ears and said, what is happening? We say, Baba, they are killing us. He said, are you serious? We say, yes. He said, Bagam, strike, 25th of December. He said, collect. And he's going to give to them again. You see? So we don't care. Whatever narrative they want to attach to it, we don't care. That is not our problem for now. Our problem is to get our freedom, for Biafrans to come out and contribute for their freedom. Biafrans to come out and invest. It did not only end with Donald Trump saying they are killing thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. Even the U.S. Secretary also gave a damning statement yesterday. That same day, same yesterday that Donald Trump spoke at Davos, U.S. Undersecretary for Political Affairs, Alison Hooker, addressed Nigeria directly in Abuja. She said the Nigerian government must do more to protect Christians and guarantee their right to practice their faith freely and safely. We don't even want them to do more. We want to separate from Nigeria. We don't want anything, because they can never protect us. They can never. In their contract, they're saying plans to protect, not protecting. They're only making plans. And people are dying. People are killed every time. People are kidnapped. And they're telling citizens, shut up, don't say it. There is nothing that Nigeria will do, because it is about Islamic agenda. But there is something that Biafrans should do, which is to fund their freedom. Let's get out of this country. That's what we want right now. I know the woman is playing her role. Yes, we appreciate you. But Mama, tell them, we need to split. Nigeria should be divided. A lot of people are dying. And they will continue to die, because it is Islamic agenda. No more unity we don't want. We were 4 different nations before they brought us, UK brought us together. So there is nothing that they will do. If they had wanted to do anything, they would have done it years back. Right from the very first time they designated them as CPC. They would have done it. But if you calculate from that year till now, more than 200,000 Christians have been killed in Nigeria. And they're not doing anything about it. UN now played the audio. UN supported them to reintegrate terrorists into their Nigerian army. And they are killing us. Nigeria have sold Nigeria out to Islamic country. Nigeria is an Islamic country. Nigeria is practicing Sharia. Before the airstrike, they were told to disband Sharia and Hizbah. Nigeria has not done that till today. So they can never protect. We need to take decisive measures and long-lasting solution, which is to disintegrate Nigeria. She was speaking at the U.S. Nigerian Joint Working Groups. And she made it very clear that U.S. is concerned about the January 18 abduction of 170 Christians from their 3 different churches. So despite Nigeria paying 9 million lobby, despite Tuga on CNN appearance and all their public relations, the US government don't even believe Nigeria is protecting Christians. But they believed our lobbyists. They believed our lobbyists, Mazi Elias. Because Mazi Elias told them the truth, that thousands of Christians are dying and Nigeria cannot protect us. And Nigerian government is complicit, and that separation is the only solution. And Trump believed him, not Tuga. That is what is playing out. Biafrans, you have to come together and fund. The blood still speaks. And it's still speaking till tomorrow. We have been killed enough. Tuga was in Davos talking about Nigerian foreign policy in a changing global order. What foreign policy in a changing global world when the blood still speaks? Please, somebody should mute his mic. What policy? What foreign policy? In a changing world, when the blood is still speaking. What are we talking about? The blood of more than 200,000 of Christians since 2009 is still speaking. It's speaking every day, even as we are gathering here. The blood still speaks. That blood that cries out aloud than any 9 million lobbying campaign. That blood spoke at Davos when Trump said thousands and thousands. Imagine when he was calling thousands, the blood was still speaking. He called thousands, the blood was still speaking. The blood said, speak for me, let the whole world hear. Thousands, the blood said, go ahead. He said thousands, the blood said, go ahead. They were speaking. The blood that disqualified Nigeria from the board of peace was still speaking. Which policy is that are they talking about? That blood proves the Biafran lobby is right. Nigeria must disintegrate because it cannot protect Christians. The blood still speaks. So what policy are they talking about? Wait, because my head now is getting hot. Where is this man? I want to play this. Just listen attentively to what he said. Wait.
Joining us right now from Davos is Nigeria's Foreign Minister, Yusuf Matuga. Minister, thank you so much for being with us. As I just mentioned, the head of the Christian Association of Nigeria in Kaduna did tell CNN that 177 people were kidnapped from a church, 9 of them having been returned, leaving 168, at least for now, unaccounted for. Obviously, as you know, I mean, this debate has raged on for many months. Some international observers will look at this and say, of course, it points to more evidence that Christians are a religious minority.
Yeah, I think somebody was calling me when I was speaking. MID? Was it you? MID? MID, are you there?
I don't think
MID.
he's still on my he's still on mic.
Okay, when he comes back, let me play.
Minority in Nigeria that continue to be persecuted, but obviously a lot of experts, and as you know, I am myself Nigerian too, a lot of experts do realize that violence in Nigeria is certainly agnostic, meaning that you have Muslims who are targeted, you have Christians who are targeted. Still, regardless of the rationale and the reason behind certain groups being targeted, what concrete steps is the Nigerian government taking at this point in time to ensure that the most vulnerable populations across Nigeria are safe and protected?
Listen to him. Yeah, before we listen to his answers, I want you to remember that this is the same man that had an interview with this same CNN months ago and said only 177 Christians have died since 2019. That time he was speaking during that interview. He is the foreign minister of Nigeria. Tuga is his name and he's from Bauchi State. So they're asking him, this Aisha that remember that today that she's a Nigerian, he's asking him now, what steps is Nigeria taking to protect the vulnerable population? So let's listen to his response. So if supposing you are an educator and after this answer, please, I would love you to, it will be 10 out of 10. Oh, I would love you to tell us the rating that you will give to him. I'm going to play, listen to his response.
Thank you for having me. There have been so many steps that have been taken. One you've already spoken of, the partnership with the United States of America in targeting some of the bandits and terrorists in their hideouts. And this is something that we have always called for, that the Tinubu administration has always called for partners to join with us, because we have always been a regional anchor. So it's a matter also of narratives. It's very important to see the conflict for what it is. It's a regional conflict that has spilled over into Nigeria. It is not removed from the conflict in the Sahel. It's not removed from what happened in Libya many years ago. It's not removed from the proliferation of weaponry, of fighters, and climate change issues, and so many other complex issues. So it's important to look at it holistically and come up with a lasting solution. And that's what we're trying to do. And I think with regards to narratives, it's also important to see Nigeria for what it is, a very diverse country that actually has not fared badly compared to countries that are more homogenous, that we have been living with each other in peace, in spite of some of the fringe or even conflict areas in border areas that, yes, now are cascading downwards. But very important to define it for what it is so that we can find the right solutions. We have forest guards, we have several other initiatives. In fact, we had done very well the fight against Boko Haram. We were trying to sort out the thousands that had surrendered. Some were innocent victims caught in conflict areas until the coup in Niger, and Niger pulled out of the multinational joint task force that was working so well because it allows for the right of pursuit. It allows for soldiers, Nigerian soldiers, to pursue terrorists into Niger and vice versa.
Mr. Foreign Minister, thank you so much for joining us regarding the most recent abduction.
Okay, so let's take it bit by bit. This is phase one, which Aisha asked him the steps. And when you pick, before we go to stage two, he was being asked the steps. And I want you, from the rating I said, 10 out of 10. 3 hands are already up. What will you rate this man? He said he has so many steps. Let me not talk. Okay, let me start with my co-host. After that, senior citizen Stella, and then Mama Love. Olokpa, welcome. So my co-host, and you must mention this, why you are giving him that mark. Oh, Yala, my co-host.
I swear that idiot, I will not give him any rate. I give him 0. He worth 0. I heard him mention that the fight is a regional fight. I wanted to ask which region are fighting with other region? What makes it a regional fight? This useless man, although he's one of the terrorists, actually, we know them. So I just give him 0. He's a 0. I don't have any number to rate him on. Thank you.
Thank you, my co-host. Senior citizen Stella.
I also give him 0/10 because how can a terrorist tell you that he is targeting or that he has captured or wants to capture a co-terrorist? It's not possible. Tuga is a terrorist himself. He lied. It's not a regional conflict or a climate change. Meanwhile, he's using his private jet. Okay? So it's not any climate change. And so he is one of the sponsors of terrorism in Nigeria. So he's a 0/10. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama. Olokpa, you have the mic.
My dear sister, Tutos, good morning from my end. And good morning, dear friends. I just came in, and that man you say I must listen to is just torturing me here listening to him. The real grade for him is 0+. Okay? And he can go figure out what follows the 0. In fact, he needs to be penalized for wasting people's time, because people listening to him, he wasted their time. If he believed it's a spillover, he know there's a problem in Libya, he know there's a problem in Sahel, he know there's a problem in everywhere except in Nigeria. What did he do to protect his own border? They left their border open. So let's say that as a result of the conflict outside Nigeria. You know there's a conflict outside your borders. What precautions did you take to protect yourself? You left your borders wide open. What was your intention, if not to absorb those people coming? And when they come, what are they coming for? Christmas? He just wasted everybody's time rambling. He was just rambling because he has no answer. So he got all the zeros in the world and need to be penalized for wasting people's time. Thank you.
Thank
He
you
needs to
so
be
much.
arrested. Arrest him. He's a terrorist himself.
Thank you so much. You see, this man does not, Aisha asked him, what concrete steps is the Nigerian government putting in place to make sure that the most vulnerable across Nigeria are safe and protected? And he said, a very big lie, a partnership, very big lie partnership. He said a lot of steps have been taken, and one of such is the partnership with the United States of America to target some of terrorists and bandits in their hideouts. This is something that the Tinubu administration always goes for, partners. I'm like,
Tutors,
yes, ma'am.
tutors.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, interjecting. He's calling US. When he was going to bomb in a republic, did he call US to accompany him? He's just an idiot.
Yeah, because you see, he said yes. Nigeria approved, Nigeria approved US airstrike in December 25th. But Tuga is now using this to dodge the question that Aisha is asking him. But the question was, what are you doing to protect vulnerable Nigerians? And he said, we partner with US to bomb terrorist hideout. But he did not say, where were this partnership when 117 Christians were being kidnapped from church? 3 good churches on Sunday. Where was this partnership that he's talking about? Why did police deny the kidnapping for 3 days? Why did the local government chairman order the community to stay silent? Don't speak. What protection did the vulnerable Christians in those 3 churches receive? He refused to, none of it, and he's talking about partnership. Because, you see, Nigerian protection strategy is, let attack happens, deny what happens and stay calm. Don't, if you speak, we kill you. And there's another contradiction here that this man made. He said, if this is me now. If you are partnering with US to protect Christians, why did you claim in November that just passed last year that only 177 Christians have been killed in 5 years? If only 177 died in 5 years, why do you need US airstrikes? Why? Why do you need US airstrike? And he now said, I just had to pick some of the words. He said, regional conflict. He now used regional conflict as an excuse, And he said, it is important to see the conflict for what it is. That is a regional conflict that has spilled into Nigeria. Did you see him accept that they brought in Boko Haram to come and fight bandits in Sokoto? The Sokoto, the community leaders were the ones that invited Boko Haram into Nigeria. They crossed the border from Sahel region. It was nothing like spilled over. They came through invitation. And he knows very well because even Musa confirmed it. They brought them in to fight bandits because bandits has been killing their citizens there. And when these people came in to fight bandits, they now gave them free lands and gave them cows. And at the long run, these people now started terrorizing the community and they had to form partnership with bandits. Given bandits say, we will show you the terrain, this is our region. Boko Haram said, we will give you weapons, we have the money. Why is he coming out denying that he doesn't know that these people were invited to Nigeria? He said it is not removed from the conflict from Sahel, Libya, that happened many years ago. Climate change, they love using climate change in all their lives. The same thing that Shetima used yesterday in Switzerland. So this is Sheikh Gumi playbook that this man is playing at. Don't call it what it is. Call it complex. Use big grammar. Call it regional. Blame climate change. Blame Libya. Blame everything. The same thing Gumi is saying. The same thing Musa is saying. But the data shows that Nigeria accounts for 72% of all Christians killed worldwide. Not the Sahel, not Libya, not Mali, not even Burkina Faso, but in Nigeria alone. So why is it bringing spill over into what it was being asked? So if this is a regional conflict, why does Nigeria have it? When they want to lie, they need to be making, to garnish it, let it even look much better. It's not a spillover anything from Sahel. This is systematic targeting of Christians in Nigeria. And he says, you know, he says it is important to see the conflict for what it is. You know, this man is from Bauchi. He is a Fulani man. He had already dented his reputation by saying only 177 people died from 2009 till date in the first interview he had last year, November. It is important to see the conflict for what it is. What is it? Oh, don't call it Christian genocide. Don't call it regional conflict. Regional, eh? Don't demand we protect Christians. Understand it is complex. What? It is very, very complex. Very, very complex. This is exactly what Gumi says. Don't use force. Understand their grievances and negotiate with bandits. So they are speaking the same language. And he was not even ashamed of himself to say, we haven't failed completely. Eh? We haven't failed completely. Let me read what he said. He said, for narrative, it is better to see Nigeria for what it is, a very diverse country that has not failed completely. Hey, and Donald Trump was there on the stage and that was telling you they have killed thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. And this man was attending an interview with CNN saying we have not failed completely compared to countries that are more homogeneous and we have been living with each other. Fear has come because they know Biafra is breaking out. In peace, despite some of the tensions or even conflict areas. Did you hear that? He has not failed completely. Mbana. This is a whole country terrorist foreign ministers on CNN saying that his country, that everybody have seen that they have failed, has not failed completely. Not we are succeeding, not we are making progress, not Christians ourselves, has not failed completely. Who is he deceiving? We haven't collapsed like Somalia. That is what he's trying to say now. We haven't collapsed like Somalia. So stop complaining about the genocide. But if you check what not completely looks like, not felt completely looks like, you will see that more than 200,000 have been killed since 2009 that he said it is 177. More than 20 churches have been burnt down. As I speak now, if you list it here, what happened on Sunday, 177 Christians kidnapped, and the government is denying it. Government order victims to stay silent, don't talk. That is not felt completely, right? And if you notice what he said, the second claim, he said, we have been living with each other in peace. Eh? Peace with who? Let him tell that to Afaniki Moses, whose husband and 2 children were kidnapped from church. Or is it to the 177 people that are still missing till date? Let him go and tell that to them, that we've been living in. This is not peace. Tuga, this is not peace. Peace with tension is never a peace. This is genocide with denial. You know, they asked him, or still part of what he was trying, because I did not see any answer I did not see any step. There was no answer in what he was saying. He was lamenting like Musa, shifting blame. He said, the Boko Haram success, we have done very well. He did like lizard falling from the roof and nodding his head. Even if you don't believe, I give myself the accolade. We have done very well with the fight against Boko Haram. And we tried to sort out thousands that have surrendered. This is the repentant Boko Haram that Antonio, UN Secretary, instructed them to do. Some were innocent victims caught in conflict areas until the coup in Niger, and Niger pulled out of the multinational joint task force. Repentant Boko Haram, you've succeeded. Who were those that kidnapped these people in their church on Sunday? Done very well, just hours before Tuga said this on CNN, news broke out because immediately people started bringing out news about 48 terrorism financial suspects that were released without trial. Because people are angry. What do you mean? These were not random suspects. So these were people with $600 million US in frozen accounts. Hima Abubakar, who was the arm dealer, documented transfer to Boko Haram, Saudi gold, who was convicted in UAE here, Western intelligence identifying them as Boko Haram leaders. People brought out this record, said, what is this Tuga talking about in CNN? Ali Kefi revealed that 48 individuals detained as suspected terrorism financial during Operation Service Wide were mysteriously released without trial shortly after my first exit from the military late 2021. This is retired General Danjuma Ali Kefi. And he said this suspect laundered funds through Bureau's de change, diverted counter-terrorism allocation and channel money directly to Boko Haram operations. And they were identified in the UAE using Western intelligence. And Nigeria released them all without trial. No prosecution, just released them. And the man is saying, who authorized the release of these people? Why were no trials pursued despite overwhelming proof? Why did Nigerian government request the United States to unfreeze Hima Abubakar's $600 million assets? Why? So when this Tuga says we have done very well with the fight against Boko Haram, ask yourself, why would a country doing very well release 48 terrorism financial without trial? Why would they do this? Why would a country doing very well account for 72% of worldwide Christian death? And the most recent one from the church. So the panic is about national breakup. When he emphasized Nigeria is, a very diverse country that has not completely failed, and he really stressed that place. We have been living with each other in peace. He is panicking, he is panicking about Biafra, leaving them. And we are separating from Nigeria. He knows that the Biafra Republic government lobbyist is lobbying and gaining traction in Washington, D.C. He knows that President Trump, Congress persons working with him, they are all listening to Mazio Bongelias. He knows that Congressman Raleigh Moore is preparing a report for President Trump about the genocide that is going on in Nigeria. And one of it, I'm telling him, even if he did not put it, this should be on the list, break up Nigeria. So he's, preempting, defending one Nigeria. That is why Nigeria is spending millions of dollars to prevent anyone from asking, should Nigeria continue to exist as one country? Because if that question gets seriously asked in Washington, D.C., the answer based on thousands of Christians, corpses, might be no. You see? My co-host answer before we go to the, I told you I have to break the video into two. Yala, go ahead, my co-host, before we listen to the remaining part of the interview. Onyeka, are you there?
I'm here. I want to ask question. So my question is, first I want to ask this terrorist Tuga. He said what is happening in Nigeria is a regional crisis or whatever he may call it. I want to ask this terrorist Tuga, this regional crisis, why is it particularly this Fulani everywhere? If you go to Enugu, Fulani, so if you go to Enugu, the same regional crisis is what is happening there. The same to Anambra, the same to Plateau, the same to Benue, the same Fulani. Why is those interviewers not asking this terrorist Tuga, why is this regional crisis everywhere in Nigeria? That is my question to this terrorist Tuga. One other question I want to ask is, I want to ask, why is it that, let me just figure out how to put the question. Why is Nigeria contradicting themselves? Is it that they are unstable, or is it that they have lost it all? Because like what you read, there is a question that was asked to this terrorist Tuga, that what are they doing to see that this Boko Haram or this terrorism in Nigeria stops? he said that they are partnering with the US to bomb. Then they are the same people who brought a news that it was a screwdriver that caused the US to bomb, and their media is carrying the news everywhere, and the whole Nigeria, the news is making round. Does it mean that these people is unstable, or they are frustrated, or they have lost it? Or that is just my question. Thank you.
Thank you, my co-host. They are panicking because of the Biafra Republic government in exile lobbyists. They know that they have failed. And as I was saying, I don't even know if he attended this interview after Donald Trump came up the stage and said thousands and thousands and thousands of Christians have been killed in Nigeria. Because if you look at his face, it's all written over him. Frustration is everywhere. He wasn't even smiling. I'm sure he said, if I did not schedule this interview, I would have canceled it. But let me just go and, face these people, say what I want to say. If you listen to what he said, he was not coordinated at all. He was talking out of point. So let's listen to the second part now. When they asked him about, they went there for economic summit, and they went there to advertise what they know how to advertise most. Let's listen to the second part. Like, I think 2 minutes.
There of nearly 200 worshipers from churches. There were initial conflicting reports where state officials were denying it until ultimately they were confirmed by the police. This year marks Nigeria's first ever sovereign pavilion at Davos there at Nigeria House. How are you ensuring investors and world and business leaders that you are meeting with there that Nigeria is a place of stability when internal security reporting at times, as we've just noted, is itself conflicting and at odds?
Please no.
We're urging potential investors to treat us the same way, to look at us the same way that they look at other countries. The fact that there is an incident in a country of 923,000 square kilometers does not mean you write off the entire country. And some of the conversations that are taking place here also have to do with Africa's risk bias, where the issue of risk, geopolitical risk in particular, is overhyped when it comes to Africa, which doesn't apply in other parts of the world. So it's very important we look at the progress that the Tinubu administration has been making with macroeconomic reforms, with the tax reforms that makes it easier for investors to come into Nigeria, lowering of corporate income tax, reform of the foreign exchange. We can actually come to Davos and use our Nigerian cards here, credit cards without a limit, 43 billion in foreign reserves. I can go on and on and on. Our sovereign bonds, our treasury bills with a yield of 8 to 10%. So let us look at Nigeria holistically. Let us not continue to dwell on some of these isolated incidents and define the entire country by it. And it's also important to note that sometimes when we dwell on some of these incidents, when we don't frame the narrative correctly, we actually trigger some of these incidents, because that's when some of the bandits and the terrorists try to go for innocent civilians and you try to use them as human shields because they know they're going to be targeted. So the rhetoric and the way and manner we speak about these things is very, very important in a multicultural, multi-religious setting like Nigeria.
Okay. I'm going to I'm going to pass the mic. Oh my God. I'm going to pass the mic to Olokpa to yes, go ahead.
Thank you, my sister. Like NKERE will say, I have a question. Is the progress Tinubu administration is making is it to be interpreted as the more Christians they are killing? Those business people he's encouraging to come, are they coming for organ parts? Are they going to sell organs? Because that's the only thing anybody coming to do business with them is coming to get. Human spare parts. So what is the progress? Oh, the Rotarix get his brothers agitated, so they go and kill. Oh, okay. So nobody should say anything about them. You see what he called living in peace. As long as you, who wasn't killed yesterday, is quiet today, we're in peace. Then, if they come today and kill you because they weren't able to kill you yesterday, and whoever is left, keep quiet, we're at peace. So now the problem is that people are bringing their style of peace to the open. That rattles his brothers, and that is unacceptable to him. I wish, listening to that man really tears me apart. They confuse you so much that you don't know the meaning of peace anymore. Look, the only answer to this madness is total separation. Biafra must go. If the other people want to stay with their lovely terrorists in their peaceful place, they can do so. But Biafra must go. And any Biafrans who is not hearing it and who is not doing what they're supposed to do to achieve it, I can't help you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Olokpa. Thank you for being with us today. Biafrans, please, if you are just joining, share the space. Yeah, thank you so much. Mama Stella, you have the mic.
Thank you. Nigeria is a failed country. It's not like every other country, every other nation. How can investors come into your country, Nigeria, when your money value, your so-called naira, is dwindling in the market? When your money do not have value anymore, investors can't invest in an unsecured market, or even country, because they will all be killed. Last month we saw a boxer that went to Nigeria with his colleagues. What happened? They had an accident because of bad roads, and 2 of them died. Tomorrow you think others will come and do tourism or whatever, or do their holiday in your country. Talk more of even investing. Investing in Nigeria is the last. In fact, for your information, your old investors have all gone back to their countries, particularly the genuine countries or genuine investors that wouldn't want to do anything with corruption, that wouldn't want to do anything with soiling their hands with blood, because Nigeria has become a very dangerous place to invest in or to live. Nigeria government is killing Nigerians. Dissolve Nigeria now to save lives. Thank you.
Thank you so much, senior citizen. The second interviewer asked him, how will you convince your investors and encourage them to invest with this unstable country, with internal reports that are conflicting? And he said, hey, God of mercy, he said, we are urging investors to treat us and look at us, first of all, you see, and look at us the way they are looking at other countries. The fact that there is an incident in a country of 923,000 square kilometers does not mean you should write off the entire country. And he said, look, let us look at Nigeria holistically. You know, they love using grammar to confuse people when they're out there. Let us not continue to dwell on some of these isolated incidents and define the entire country by it. You see, when I listened to him, something was in my mind. What is this man calling isolated incident? You know what he's calling isolated incident? Because the question is about the kidnapping that happened on Sunday. So this man is calling 177 Christians kidnapped from 3 churches at the same time, isolated incident. Just bullshit it. Let's talk about investment. That is what Tuga said. How can he be so heartless to call the kidnap of Christians, the killings of Christians, isolated incidents? He said, forget about it. Let us not dwell on some of these isolated incidents. Is that all you could say? You see, isolated, this incident since December 2025, how many people have died in Nigeria? These are all isolated because you came out and lied that only 177 people have died since 2009 till last year, December. You have the guts just few hours before this interview. You are telling your CNN interviewers to forget about, let us not dwell. It doesn't matter. They can kill them. They can kidnap them. Give us their spare part. We sell their body part to our buyers. We sell our body part to our investors, because what they are doing now, they are bringing in Islamic investors into Nigeria. I am coming to that. I will try and make it up before our PM comes online, because I was thinking we'll have a break before he comes. That is what the man is calling isolated incident. The blood that is still speaking, the thousands of people that have been killed by Fulani terrorists and Boko Haram and ISWAP, all of them, which they imported to Nigeria, is what he's calling isolated incidents. You see? That is what he's saying. Ignore them. We have $43 billion in reserve. Ignore them. We don't care. We have bondings with the Islamic group. We have bondings with OIC. Ignore them. They are isolated incidents. So push them aside. That is what he's saying. And then he now said, it is also important to note that sometimes when we dwell on some of these incidents, do you now understand what he said now? Some of these incidents, what incident is he talking about? The kidnapping. The kidnapping is what he's talking about. These isolated incidents is what he's talking about. There are times when we dwell, you know, so much on some of these incidents, we don't frame the narrative correctly. We actually trigger some of these incidents, you see, because this is when some of the bandits and terrorists try to go for innocent civilians and try to use them as human shield, because they know they are going to be targeted. This set of people are the ones that rise up and fought Musa, that Musa should not kill terrorists. Gumi gave Musa warning. All the northern governors gave Musa warning. Musa, being who he is, a fearful man, is saying every time on the news channel, that negotiate with terrorists. Terrorists is coming out now to tell you that before they even talk about releasing the people they kidnap, you must first of all pay how many million? Is it not 28 point something million for their lost bike that they captured during military operation? You must pay those millions of naira for their bike first before they even talk about the release. Tell you the amount that they will bill to release the remaining 177 people. That is what the bandit, the terrorists, that is what they are telling the Nigerian terrorist government. And Musa is saying, no negotiation, no peace deal. Who will win at the end of the day? Nigerian government have already paid these people the money for their lost bike, because they are charging one bike 1.28 million. So Tuga is saying, if we talk about this attack, we trigger more attack. If you report Christian kidnapping, you are responsible for more Christians being kidnapped. So what do you do? Shut up. This is victim blaming at the genocidal scale. And this is exactly what Shegumi is saying. Don't provoke the terrorists. Negotiate with them. If you bomb them, it will get worse. And Tuga is saying the same thing. If we don't frame the narrative correctly, we trigger incidents. Terrorists will target civilians. So both are telling Nigerians, shut up. Don't report any attack. Don't demand protection. You will make it worse. Just keep quiet for them to kill you wherever you are. After this January 18 kidnapping, Kajuru local government chairman ordered the community, keep quiet, stay silent, and not speak to anyone. According to the journalist Ruben that was there, the resident said that is exactly what happened. Don't speak. So this directive made it extremely difficult for family members and the community to respond, because the government is literally, ordering kidnapping victims. Do not tell anyone what happened. Excuse me. Because as Tuga said on CNN, when we don't frame the narrative correctly, we trigger incidents. So if you tell the world Christians were kidnapped, we can't control the narrative. So stay silent. But thanks be to God for Donald Trump that came out and said, hey, they are killing thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands. You see? So they are playing the template of Gumi. Gumi said when they bombed in November 25, he said, U.S. bombing of bandits in Nigeria will worsen killings. Best solution is negotiation with them. I am telling you, bombing will not solve this problem. It will make it dirty. And Tuga is saying the same thing in January 18. No, I think 21. When we don't frame the narrative correctly, we trigger incidents. Terrorists will target civilians. So both are saying, don't use force. It will make things worse. Gumi, that word, we don't negotiate. I don't know where they got it from. It is not in the Bible. This is Gumi talking. It is not in the Quran. America had an office negotiating with the Taliban in Qatar. Everyone negotiate with outlaws if it will stop bloodshed. Now, ever since they've been negotiating, has it stopped? And Tuga is there. Talks about lasting solutions, understanding the conflict, regional issue, giving it names, climate change, all code for what? To negotiate. Don't confront, just negotiate. Do you remember Gumi's quote again? Kidnapping children from school is a lesser evil because in the end, you can negotiate. Bandits are very careful about human lives. Really? And they are cutting human lives, cutting humans into pieces, burning them alive. And Gumi is saying that bandits are very careful about human lives. Tuga was there on January 21 and calling 177 Christian kidnapped from church an isolated incident. This is wickedness, my people. In a 923,000 square kilometer country, he downplays it, asking investors to look at bond yields instead of looking at the insecurity in the country. So if you compare the two of them, you could see that both of them are minimizing Christian sufferings. Gumi said, using force against force will only make things worse. And we must understand their psychology. And Tuga is saying the same thing. When we don't frame the narrative correctly, we trigger incidents. So both blame those who speak out and not those who kill. They are supporting those who kill. So despite this public backlash, the Nigerian government has adopted Gumi's approach. Hide it. Don't say it. Keep quiet. You will trigger it. Keep quiet. Let them kill you. Don't say anything. They will kill you. Just shut up your mouth and stay there. Are you following what is happening? Shut up. Don't say anything. Because while this man was there, this financier thing, you see, they brought out the list. So is that a country that want to stop terrorism? The answer is no. They don't want to stop it. They want to continue to kill because what? It is an isolated incident. Nobody should talk about it. Push it one side. And this General Ali that brought out this list of financiers that they freed, he made one statement. He said, full public disclosure investigation will trigger major repercussion, potentially implicating senior military officers, government officials, and even members of National Assembly. They are the ones funding terrorism. So the Nigerian government is protecting terrorism financially while claiming to fight terrorism. They have released people who fund Boko Haram. They denied Christians that are being kidnapped. They ordered victims to keep quiet. So when this Tuga says on CNN, we have done very well with Boko Haram, he is lying, because he knows that these terrorism financiers are working free, while Christians are continued every day to be killed one after the other. So what is he talking about? Yeah, senior citizen, you have the mic before I continue.
Yeah, you have said what I wanted to say. Because listen, this confirms, this is a pure confirmation of that Tuga or whatever his name is one of the sponsors of terrorism in Nigeria. He is one of the sponsors. This guy do not care. Just like, is he only him? Is he Tuga? Is he Gumi? Is he Shetima? Sultan of Sokoto, give me their names. All these men, they do not care if all Christians die. They do not care. In fact, if all the Christians could die in Nigeria, in Biafra land, this is exactly what they want, because after all, they want to take over the whole land. Displacement is also going on alongside with the Islamization. So this is why he's telling you, just shut up. Just keep quiet. The more you speak, the more his brothers attack. If not so, like Gumi, go and negotiate. If you just negotiate, he even have the nerves. He also told Trump, listen, just negotiate. Negotiate with the bandits. If you negotiate everything, if not so, you will kill more people. More people. No, you will kill Trump will kill your brothers. And so now, like, you've not learned enough lessons. This is why your brothers have now moved in their thousands within towns and inside barracks. And they are now having their bases in Nigeria military barracks and Nigeria police barracks and what do you call this other one? Obinze barracks. This is where all the bandits have now gone to hide. Trump, come on! I'm telling you where you can find them. They are in military barracks. They are in police barracks. These bandits have gone into Obinze barracks. This is where the war front is now. And they are annihilating Christians. They are killing Nigerian Christians, and particularly Biafra Christians. They have worn themselves uniform, Trump. They have become Nigerian military, and they are killing Nigerians. They are killing Biafrans. Thank you. Let me stop here. Arrest Tuga. Arrest all these men I just called. Tuga, Gumio, Shetima, Sultan of Sokoto. They are the sponsors of terrorism. They are the sources and originators of insecurity going on in Nigeria and in Biafra land. Arrest them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama. This is the reason why Biafrans should come together and fund their freedom. Yes, come together and fund your freedom. You see, our Mazi Obongeli has made a very personal mission for himself. He said, in the people of Biafra, I see faces that remind me of stories I grew up with. I have developed a specialty in clients who represent liberation movement to give them justice, often denied by major geopolitical interests. And this is the reason why the Nigerian terrorist government fears him a lot. And he's achieving results. Biafrans, come together and fund. Let us go. Let us go. In a short period, we have succeeded in elevating Nigerian persecution of Christians and Biafran communities to the global stage. These are, all the words of our Obong Mazi Elias. Do you think he will go and say blah, 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 blah? We need to fund our freedom. We need to support our government. Lobbying war reveals something very crucial. Nigeria knows the Christian genocide narrative is gaining traction at the highest level of the President Trump administration because of our born alias. And they are spending millions to counter it, not by stopping the genocide, but by denying that it exists. You could also see they are putting things together. Everything is working together. They don't have time again. Tinubu Islamization agenda is ongoing, turning a secular state into an Islamic state. That is what I want to talk about now before we end the space. You see, so that Biafrans will know that as they are sitting down there, Ohaneze Ndigbo is telling them one more for election 2027. Hey, you cannot leave Nigeria. Let me tell you, Islam will put fire, jihadist Islam will put fire in your bum bum. And by that time, it will be too late for you to wake up. No savior will come. Because I want to connect something that exposed directly to why Christians are missing, why Christians are disappearing. While Christians are being killed, Tinubu government is systematically Islamizing Nigeria financial and government system, if you don't know. They are introducing things chunk by chunk, stage by stage, until it will become a full-blown Islamic country. And by that time, I wonder where you run to. You saw the announcement they made. In this January, was it 2 days ago? The Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, FRC, revealing plans to do what? Listen. To integrate global Islamic finance standard into Nigeria financial reporting framework. Do you know what that means? You are gone. You are completely gone. And this was official statement by the FRC Executive Secretary, Dr. Rabiu. You are gone. They will finish all of us. I want to quote him. He said, "We are formally integrating standards issued by the Accounting and Auditing Organization for what? Islamic Financial Institution." I'll be abbreviating it AAOIFI. When I say it, you know what that means. Into Nigerian financial report framework. Oh my goodness me. If we know, if Biafrans that are sitting on the fence, if they know what is coming, they will come together. You know, Nigeria used International Financial Reporting Standard, IFRS, the global secular standard used by most countries. That is what they used before, and they've been using that. But now, they are adding Accounting and Auditing Organization for Islamic Financial Institution standard to it. That is Islamic Sharia compliant financing reporting rules is what they are adding. Remember that they've already done what they call tax reform with was it France? Yeah, with France, I think so. Preparing you for the extra tax that they'll be paying. We did program on this. So now they are adding something else to it, which has to do with Islamic Sharia compliant financial reporting rules. You know, this is not just alternative finance. It is the enforcement arm of Islamic Sharia in the financial sector of Nigeria. And it has some requirements. Now, let's listen to the requirements. They have a riba prohibition. What they call riba is interest. So all interest-based transactions are forbidden. They consider this as haram. Haram means anything that is sinful in their religion. So all interest-based transactions are forbidden. You don't pay interest. And guess what? Nigeria love it. Already, OT had borrowed money from Islamic Bank last year. Now, Sharia Compliance Board. Every financial institution must have what? Listen, Islamic scholars approving all your transactions. So Islamic scholars must stay together. If you make any quotation, it is Islamic scholars that will approve all your transactions. And you have to pay zakat, which is Islamic tax, mandatory religious tax on wealth, 2.5% annually. You have to pay. And another requirement they have is halal investment only. So you cannot invest in business. Listen, You cannot invest in business involving alcohol, pork products, gambling, entertainment, which that entertainment we have music, we have movies, and we have another one that you cannot invest will be conventional banking. Now, if you look at all these lists that I've mentioned here, who are those doing this business? Are they not Biafrans? Okay. Now, the fifth one, Islamic contract is there. So it replaces conventional contracts. Murabaha, Ijara, Islamic leasing, Maduraba, profit sharing, Musharaka, joint venture, Sukuk, Islamic bond. So if you look at, this is not inclusion at all. It is Islamization, not inclusion, because the government now claim, according to this Olowo, who brought out this information, he said, as usual, he lied that this is not intended. They will always lie when they want to do the same thing that happened in 1999 Constitution, when they altered it and started replacing the people with Sharia gradually, and people were there, House of Assembly members were there, clapping hands for them, not knowing that they have integrated Sharia law into Nigerian Constitution. They were clapping for them. Again, this man has come out and said, oh, this is not intended to disrupt existing operations. Of course, they will say that, but to enhance clarity and support financial inclusion. So what happened to years back that they did not bring this into the financial institution? What happened? Was there any complaint? The answer is no. So why bring it now? And Shetima said, Islamic finance has emerged as a powerful ally because the system's framework is rooted in ethics, fairness, and shared prosperity. But the reality is different. The Nigerian Constitution Section 10 declares that the government of the federation or of a state shall not adopt any religion as state religion. Why are these people integrating what does not align with the Constitution? So integrating this AAOIFI violate that, because one, if you see, it imposes Islamic religion law on a secular system. Because this is standard of Islam, Sharia, not secular ethics, not universal principles, but Islamic religious, principles that they are bringing to integrate into their financial institution. And it has its own description. Prepares accounting, it prepares auditing, it prepares governance, ethics and Sharia standard for Islamic financial institution. So every AAOIFI, I told you I'll be using the abbreviation standard, must be approved by Islamic scholars to ensure Sharia compliance. Who are those doing